Ronnie Wood is an essential member of the Rolling Stones, completing the iconic roster of Keith Richards on guitar, Charlie Watts on drums, and Mick Jagger on lead vocals. However, Wood almost became a member of a different legendary band when his agent asked if he wanted to join what later became Led Zeppelin. In 1966, guitarist Jimmy Page joined the Yardbirds alongside the late guitarist Jeff Beck. However, his time with the band was brief, as the Yardbirds broke up in 1968. Page saw this as an opportunity to bring in a new lineup with Peter Grant as the manager. Young vocalist and composer Terry Reid was asked to join, but declined, and recommended the up-and-coming singer Robert Plant. Plant then suggested bringing on his childhood friend John Bonham as the drummer. Bassist John Paul Jones, who worked with Page a few times before, offered his services, and the four members formed the new Yardbirds. After a tour of Scandinavia, the band changed their name to Led Zeppelin, and the rest is history.
That's a terrible name, but I couldn't come up with a better one, so Led Zeppelin we were.
In a 2012 episode of his Absolute Radio show, Ronnie Wood shared how he almost joined Led Zeppelin before he joined the Rolling Stones. At the time, Wood was also managed by Peter Grant, who offered him a role with the new Yardbirds. However, Wood had little interest in playing with unproved musicians who he called a bunch of farmers, and ultimately declined. Peter Grant used to manage myself and Jeff Beck and Rod Stewart and Mickey Waller and Nicky Hopkins back in the good old days, Wood recalled. He was behind a band that was going to be called the New Yardbirds, which I had an offer to join, and I said, I can't join that bunch of farmers. Anyway, they eventually changed their name and turned out to be Led Zeppelin, and he managed them as well. The four members of Led Zeppelin were electric together. Ronnie Wood is a fantastic bassist for the Rolling Stones, but Jones filled the slot perfectly for Zeppelin. Both bands are enshrined in rock history as two of the greatest ever to do it, so it's hard to say either made the wrong decision for their bassist. The Rolling Stones had already made a name for themselves before Wood joined them, but the band was even better when he joined in 1975. In an interview for Wood's autobiography, Ronnie, Keith Richards, delivered the ultimate compliment to the bass player. We can do a lot more with this particular band than any other incarnation of the Rolling Stones. With Ronnie, the possibilities are endless, he said. Wood is still playing with the Rolling Stones today as they continue to tour the world. Led Zeppelin disbanded in 1980, but Jones has still been successful in his many endeavors following the band's dissolution.